Well, that main event was damn good and damn bloody, and man, that New Orleans crowd was really goddamn hot. I'm John Renton with the Retro Review of Mid-South Wrestling in New Orleans from November 11th, 1985. I have no idea if there was another name for this event, because I googled to try and find out more information, and no, that's really all I could find, so that's what I'm rolling with. The main event between Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Buzz Sawyer was bloody and brutal and goddamn great, and it was wild, and you got to see some cool stuff backstage, and the rest of the card was hit and miss. Like, it was a 72-minute show, and they even had a warning, presented in the most complete form possible due to technical difficulties, and boy, were the technical difficulties all over here. No commentary, some bad audio, you could barely hear what the ring announcer was saying most of the time. But, hey, a New Orleans crowd, when they're hot, they're really goddamn good, and they can add a lot to the show. Dr. Death Steve Williams and El Casario, who was in a mask, took on the Bruise Brothers. It was over in a minute, and the mask guy got pinned. That was it. Literally, that was it for the match. Jake Roberts, in warm-up pants, which still throws me off to this day, took on Humongous, who I think was Jeff Van Camp Jr., I believe. I had to do a little bit of research. I think that was the guy. With Sir Oliver Humperdinck, who was all over the show. I think he was the only manager on this goddamn show, but you know what? Humperdinck's kind of forgotten about as a really good manager. Like, he was really good in the territory days. Anyway, so Humongous in a hockey mask because of the whole Lord Humongous thing, and Google it, kids, you'll know what I'm talking about. More of a match here. Jake went for the mask. Humongous hit a couple leg drops and a lot of rest holds, like a surfboard stretch, and then a bear hug for days. DDT spot later, Humperdinck distracts and a Cobra Clutch, and Jake Roberts passes out, and Humongous gets the victory. And then a beatdown afterwards. Like, at least the crowd was pissed. The crowd was starting to get a little more into it by this point. And then Mid-South Tag Team title match, Oliver Humperdinck in the corner of the heels, Eddie Gilbert and the Nightmare. They took on Al Perez and Wendell Cooley, who were the tag team champions at this time. And, well, the champs looked good, and that was about it. I will say that, one, besides the glorious mullets that they sported, this wasn't a bad match, but I think, as far as what they were going for, I don't think that it needed to go as long as it did. Like, there were points where the heels just kept getting, heat on the faces. They just kept beating them down, and eventually it went so long where it's like, okay, now I don't really care what happens. They kind of went a little bit too long on the stuff. But the match started slow. There was lots of stalling and rest holds. It did pick up later, and Cooley and Perez were a fine tag team. Then Perez got beat up for a while. Cooley got the hot tag, but then he took a tumble outside after the ropes were pulled down, and man, it looked like he landed badly because there was wood on the floor. Like, I think it was like an old hockey arena or something. Or not a hockey arena, like maybe an old basketball arena. I'm not really sure what it was, but like that wood did not give at all. Wood flooring usually wouldn't. And then we get, stun gun on the ropes, like, dropping on the ropes like Steve Austin used to do in WCW. And then cradle by Gilbert, 1, 2, 3, new champs. Bullshit chants from the crowd. The crowd was fucking livid here. They were livid. Because they wanted to see the leather-clad baby faces with the glorious mullets win this match and retain the championships. Man, that crowd was really goddamn hot here. And then we get Butch Reed versus Dick Slater. Joined in progress, and Dick was pounding on the leg, and then Butch came back pounding on Dick repeatedly. Man, you never get bored watching another man pound Dick in a ring. I'm just going to make it as uncomfortable as possible. If I say it in my New Japan reviews, I'm going to say it here. Dick kept getting dirty Dick Slater, so of course he would. We get a figure four, we then get a ref bump, another ref comes in, we get a collision, and Dick tops Butch with Dark Journey, who was his valet at the time, maybe even his girlfriend. I'm not totally sure on that. She helps, Dick drapes his feet over the bottom rope, 1, 2, 3. So Dick gets the victory, the Dictory, if you will. And then Butch is like, okay, well, I'm gonna get my steam back, and I'm gonna beat the shit out of Dick. I'm gonna pound and stroke Dick repeatedly until he can't take it anymore. Late great Butch Reed and the late Dick Slater. And the fans cheer wildly as Butch just pounds on Dick. They wanted to see the man pound Dick repeatedly. So, Buzz Sawyer versus Jim Duggan. Jumpstart, what a war. The crowd loved Duggan, obviously. Why wouldn't you love Jim Duggan? This is I don't even want to say goofy in a bad way. This is more cartoonish Jim Duggan in WWE, where he was all ho and all that. And hey, got him over, and he made a whole lot of money with that, and he deserved it because he was a hard worker. But man, seeing just kick-ass babyface Duggan here in Mid-South, even when Mid-South was starting to have its issues, and you could tell it was really having its issues, because if you just look at the business structure of it, like, I can't remember, oil bust or something that caused business to start to go down, and by, I believe, 87, Crockett bought the company when it was rebranded as the UWF just a bit before. But Yeah, Duggan was beating down on Buzz Sawyer. Buzz Sawyer bled. I think Duggan might have bled. The camera work wasn't all that good, but Buzz bled a lot. I mean, he really bled. And slugfest. They hit some low blows on each other. Duggan, just kicks Buzz outside. Buzz goes to leave, and I think the bell got called, but again, it was really hard to hear some of that stuff. One guy's just yelling at Buzz constantly, "You chicken shit." He at least yelled it 4 times. That's pretty goddamn cool. And then Buzz comes back. The bell keeps ringing, but the brawl stays on. They beat each other up and beat each other up. Wrestlers come out, babyface and heel, they come out and they're trying to separate and all this. Heels and babyface are like, no, we got to separate these guys. These guys are going to kill each other. And then we go to the back. We see cameras following Buzz backstage. He's all upset. And then they brawl in the garage, like the garage ramp or whatever. Something like that. And Duggan says to Buzz, "Kiss my fucking ass." And Buzz is then yelling like somebody is strangling his balls repeatedly. Or like somebody kicked him out of a big money-making territory like Georgia Championship Wrestling, which got folded, and him and Dick Slater left and went to Mid-South because they weren't really welcome in Jim Crockett Promotions because they weren't necessarily, needed for the continued success. So yeah, but I think Duggan won by countout. I'm actually really confused about what happened, but honestly, this was really goddamn good. The main event is worth watching. Really cool to see, Buzz bleed. And Duggan just, pre 2x4 and, goofiness and all that. Tough guy, he really was a tough guy here. This is not a knock. Anyway, by the way, this is also in the Hidden Gem section of the WWE Network for the next couple weeks, so you better jump on that. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.